When exactly should you start your estate planning for your family and your legacy? Let's talk to a financial advisor. I'm here with Guyton Policard. He's the founder of DreamCap Financial. When, Guyton, should we start the estate planning?
Hey, unless you know exactly when you're going to die, the answer is today. So unfortunately, most of us don't know that answer. So it's actually what separates DreamCap from most other advisors. We really pride ourselves in estate planning. So we believe everybody that walks into our office have a circle of people that really matters to them. So whether it's their spouse, their children, in some cases it might be a nephew, a niece, or a charity, whoever that circle of people that matters most to you, it matters to us as well. And we want to make sure we protect that. You've worked hard to earn what you have. And we want to put you in a better position to now leave a legacy.
And one of the biggest things is making sure that you can possibly, from beyond, help keep that circle together.
Correct.
One of the things that creates incredible stress on families, friends, whoever it might be, is the tension of trying to guess what you wanted. Right. So let's start with the simple will. How many times when folks come in, do they have at least a proper will, an updated will, or do you find more often than not that they don't even have one?
I would say maybe 2 out of 10 have a will. Half of those don't have it updated. They did it years ago and it's not updated. So it is an issue that most people overlook. But when
a will doesn't have to be complicated.
That's a priority.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't take a long time for a will, does it?
It doesn't. But some other cases now will require better planning. It could be a trust or something like that. So really, it's something that's truly important. And as I said earlier, and I truly meant it, it is something that you must start today. Because if I really care about my family, let's take my children, for example, right? And I don't have a will, I don't have a trust. So what happens if something happens tomorrow and they don't know how to recover really what I've worked so hard to get, and they're having to pay attorney fees. So it's 100% my fault if they're having to pay all those fees to get what really is earned. It belongs to our family. It's 100% my fault if it's complete chaos and they don't know what to do. So I'm in control of doing something about it. So I believe that we must get a plan in place.
There are other things such as the decisions that are sometimes called the medical directives, financial directives as well. Who would take care of those things? I mean, is it always the oldest son or daughter? Sometimes we don't have that capacity in the family. Who do we want to help oversee this?
Well, it depends. If your kids are minors, then obviously you're going to have to get, whether it's your brother or maybe if your parents are alive. For example, there's some people, they want their parents, if they die prematurely, to take care of the kids. But that's also why it's important to revise it regularly, because statistically, obviously, you're going to outlive your parents. So that individual could, it depends, but it's going to be an individual, obviously, that you trust that will do the right thing for your family.
I'm going to follow that word trust again, since you just said it. And we've got wills and we've got trusts. A will, we definitely want. Otherwise, if you pass away, spouse passes away.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. It's called a dying intestate. But when do we need a trust as opposed to a will, or both of them together? Is there a threshold? Is it a financial threshold? Is it how many kids we have? Is it, do we like the kids, not like the kids? When do we need a trust?
So a trust, I would say you'll need when there's more complexity and more different classes of assets in your portfolio, especially, for example, if you have multiple properties, then that becomes a better option at that point to, again, avoid probate, those attorney fees, court fees, all the confusion and chaos. So that would be a good tool to avoid all of that if something happens.
Other investments, maybe even private businesses and so forth, or other things that you invest in.
Because in reality, if you only have, for example, a 401k in retirement, you can designate the beneficiaries. At that point, we just want to make sure that it's done correctly. Sometimes people are still even confused between primary and contingent beneficiaries. So it's still something we'll review. But the trust will, I'll say, was somebody with different classes of assets. And
as we know here in the United States as well, nearly 50% of the marriages in the United States end in divorce. It becomes even more complicated when we've got layers of family. How many times do you see that folks haven't even reviewed their beneficiaries?
I see it very often where they have perhaps somebody that passed away that's still the beneficiary, or some people have minors as a beneficiary, and
Or
life
their
insurance-
ex-spouse.
or their ex-spouse. That's even the most common one. Actually, yes, good point.
And that's actually gone all the way up to the Supreme Court, that
Yeah.
if you have your ex-spouse, even if it's in your will that you want everything to go to your current spouse, if it is on the beneficiary designation, it is going
Absolutely.
to that ex-spouse.
Absolutely.
All right. Guyton Policard, thank you so much for answering this. And
thanks.
you don't mind reviewing estate plans for folks?
I love doing it.
Or even
Again,
putting them
we
together?
pride ourselves in doing it. Yeah.
All right. Here at DreamCap Financial, your legacy plan is just as important as making sure that you have a financial plan that you can't outlive in your own retirement. If you're wondering when you should do your estate planning, as soon as you have people you care about. So you can call and talk to financial advisor Guyton Policard of DreamCap Financial right now, in fact. Call 888-DREAM-08 or schedule your own appointment right here at the website. Thanks for watching.